Boss, defeat for us today. What did you make of the performance from the team?
Yes, first of all, after each and every defeat, you are disappointed. That's for sure. So overall, I would say it was a close game. I just watched the statistics. So 13 to 11 shots for them, 60-40% possession for us. So in general, a close game. So my feeling is we lost this game in the first 50 minutes. So we started a bit more like not on the front foot. So my feeling was we should have gone out more like on the front foot and being proactive instead of just reacting. So my feeling was we were a bit too much impressed in the first 50 minutes and invited them to press us and with the ball and against the ball. So we were not proactive enough and just reacting. And this means that sometimes you have unnecessary loss of the ball. You're coming always one step too late. You cause unnecessary set pieces for them, and also in the crossing and the set piece defending. It's not like you go into the ball proactive. It's more like, no, you wait and hope that nothing happens. You just react, and if you're just reacting, then you're just a second winner. And this spirit we had in the first 50 minutes, and Burnley was able to use this 2-0 up. After that, the reaction was then definitely okay, and we should have played like, for example, the second 30 minutes in the first half, where we put them close to their own box and dominate the game and created many chances and hit the post, and Timo has a good chance. My feeling was, okay, we had the first big chance, Timo 1-on-1 the goalkeeper, and I think Pope was there with a world-class save. And of course, if you go and lead there, then it's completely a different game, and they were able to use more or less their first chance. But my feeling was the first 50 minutes, we should have started a bit more on the front foot.
Is that performance in the first 50 minutes, how Burnley took advantage of their fast start and were 2-0 up, is that a real lesson for the team going forward, that it shows if you start well, you can go on to win a game?
Yes, of course, and we were prepared. It was clear that Burnley here at home, so they need to force a result today against the newly promoted side. And we were praised so much in the recent days. So I said, listen, they will come out and try to attack us and try to annoy us and try to provoke us and be really, really aggressive, because that's what you have to do when you're a proper experienced Premier League side against a newly promoted side who was praised so much. And of course, it didn't help that we had, again, injury problems in the beginning. So Tim Krul had to stop his warm-up and came in already 30 minutes for kickoff with back problems. And we tried with some pills to get him through this game anyhow, because Ralph Hammer was also injured, and always good when Tim was in a good shape, is on the pitch. But of course, it was also not easy, because he's one of our last leaders anyhow, who was not injured. Was then a bit more concentrate on himself instead of leading the group. The same with Alex Tete. After a few minutes, I had to substitute him. So we play with such a young side, and so many defensive players are out. And after, I think, 2 or 3 minutes, he was already injured, and I had to substitute him. It didn't help. That's for sure. But in general, this is a lesson you have to learn. So it's even if you would play with just 11, 18-year-old players on the pitch, so it's more like to start on the front foot and to be proactive, to play a game with the ball, against the ball, to put the other team into their half, instead of being too impressed of these injuries or the aggressiveness of Burnley. So it's more like, no, go out in this moments and play a game like we did in the minutes after the first 50 minutes. But because we were not at our best in this first 50 minutes, this cost us the game today.
On Tim Krul, you said he had a back issue in the warm-up. Did he come through the 90 minutes okay?
Yeah, so actually we wanted to substitute him at half-time, because when he cooled down and he felt the pain even more, and he said, listen, I don't think I can finish 90 minutes. So thank God he did in the end, and it was important to have him on the pitch. But we have to wait right now what the outcome is. So he overstretched anyhow his back. I hope it's not too bad, because we have already many defensive players injured, but we have to wait what the doctors will say.
And Alex Tete had to come off. What's the situation there?
Yeah, anyhow, after a turn, he felt a strain in his quad or in his groin. So we have to assess it. So I think it's a muscle injury anyhow, and anyhow, unlucky that he had to go out, because he was more or less our last holding midfielder who was available, and Mo Leitner, if I'm honest, was not really prepared for playing such a long time, but he had to come on the pitch, and I think he delivered with a decent performance. So in general, it's a tricky situation at the moment with all the defensive players injured, but it's like it is. So it doesn't make any sense to complain or to cry or whatever. We have to handle this and to go further on.
Yeah, but on the game and the defeat for the team, for such a young team that we've got, can games like this sometimes be positive for the team going forward in the experience that they have out on the pitch there?
I would prefer to learn always lessons just from wins, if I'm honest. And my feeling is we can also grow with wins. For that, I'm never happy with the loss. But sometimes you're right. So even out of a loss, you can learn even a bit more than just out of a great game like against Man City. And yeah, this is what we have to face. This is the reality. We have unbelievable young lads, and we will sometimes need to learn some lessons, and we have to grow a bit. And otherwise, each and every other club would play with such a young group of players, and we have to stick to them, and we can't punish them because they were a bit impressed in the first 50 minutes. It's more like to speak about this period, but also to make clear, listen, then the reaction when you're 2-0 back and everything is against us, then to come back into the game and to react in a way and say, okay, come on, right now we play our game, is quite good. And for that, there were also some positive things to learn, but we will also have to speak about the first 50 minutes, that's for sure.